Welcome everybody to this edition of Attention Talk Video. I'm your host, ADHD and Attention Coach Jeff Copper. And today I'm here to talk about thoughts and ideas about networking and going into larger conference rooms. Many people with ADHD really struggle. They're intimidated by maybe going to a conference or going to a networking session for a variety of reasons. Sometimes they're just, they're nervous. They don't know what to say. They're worried about their ADD getting in the way. And what I find is that a lot of times they're feeling pressure in these situations. Sometimes they walk in a room and they really just need to get a read of the room, try to figure out what everybody's paying attention to first before they comment. Sometimes they just feel like they're put on the spot. Other times they're putting pressure on themselves because they think they have to be intelligent or being really insightful on something and share advice. Over the years, what I've learned is coaching people, and by the way, this doesn't work for everybody, but it's just a tip for in case it resonates with you, is where you walk into the room and the idea is you're there, think of it as you're a reporter or an investigator, you're there for a reason. Recently, I was coaching an HR director. I was a little bit apprehensive going to a conference, and the idea was to walk in a room and to be curious with other people, to say, hey, what did you come here? What are you trying to get out of it? What are you looking to learn? What have you learned in the past? What kind of insights are the most profound? By asking those curious questions, you're always putting the burden of the discussion on the other person, and there's pressures not really on you in those particular situations. I've had other people walk in and basically say, I'm doing some research on this topic, and I'd like to get your thoughts on something, even though they weren't actually going to write a paper, do research. It's really a tool. I actually call it a decoy. You're walking in this situation, but you've got something else that you're talking about as a means to have some way to converse. I will say personally, when I first started going to ADHD conferences, and there was be a speaker or some individual that I'd like to meet and get to know, it was really easy for me because I would go up and say, hey, listen, I've got Attention Talk Radio, or I got Attention Talk Video. I'd be interested in having a conversation with you about, coming on and the topics and stuff. And what I learned is when you're talking about them or doing something from them, it makes it relatively easy. Now, sometimes it doesn't work, particularly if they're busy, but at the end of the day, I've gotten to know a lot of people because it's not just me going back and forth with them, but there's another reason that I'm up there talking to them, the show, etc. I hope this spurs some thought for you to think about some things, because if you can come up with these little tidbits, the pressure's not on yourself. You're just asking curious questions of them and or talking about their thoughts on something else, or maybe inviting them to do something that would help them out. And it's a little bit of an icebreaker, and you can go from there. Anyway, hope that gives you some food to thought. Please subscribe to our channel and leave me your thoughts. What do you think of this? Does it make some sense? It's a good tip, bad tip, or have you had an experience doing that? Always love to hear from you. With that, we hope you enjoyed this edition of Attention Talk Video. Take care.